Paul Match. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Paul Match. What we gotta watch, what we gotta watch. Yeah, buddy, that's right. Get exposure right now. Holler at the homie Paul Match, man, for Paul Match TV. Hit up Paul Match TV across all social media sites, alright? Who we got next? Got next.
Well, hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time once again. We're glad that you could join us again today. We got a great interview coming up for you in just a couple minutes. I want to thank you again for all the letters and comments you make about my episodes. And if you're one of those that like to do that, well, first of all, subscribe here on YouTube and hit the bell, and you're always going to get the latest interviews whenever they become available. And you're welcome to leave a comment and check out one of the comments because it's going to have links to our caps and t-shirts. And I know you want to take advantage of that. And if you're on Facebook, go to facebook.com/PaulMashTV. And feel free to like the page, inboxes, comment, all the things you see. We love to hear from you. And you can use good old-fashioned email. That's PaulMashTV, all one word, @gmail.com. And this is not just for bands and solo artists that want to be on the show. If you're a fan, you can use the same email address. We love to hear from you. And we have an official web address as well. And all that will be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. Coming up shortly, we have Amanda Page Cornett from Nashville, Tennessee. Very talented country artist, and I think you're going to agree. And we'll get to that in just a moment. But first, here's another quick word from ClickChant. Don't go away.
We got history, got me feeling the nostalgia when you look at me, thinking about what could.
Okay, everybody, it's that time again for an interview, and from Nashville, Tennessee today, we have Amanda Page Cornett. Thanks for joining us, Amanda.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, no problem, and we're glad to have you. Why don't we start off by the obvious question, how you began as an artist? I mean, I'm sure you have an interesting story on that.
Well, I have been writing songs, making up songs, I guess, since before I could probably talk. And when I was 9, I finally started putting them to paper and recording them on, little recorders or cassette tapes, whatnot. And it's been kind of a part of me my whole entire life. I've just always loved performing, and I just started writing, and I kept a list. In fact, I probably have all of my songs that I wrote even from 9 years old, which sometimes is scary to look at. But I had an amazing guitar teacher, Joe Bennett, back in Spartanburg, South Carolina, who gave me some great advice. He said, don't let songwriting just be a talent, make it a skill. And he gave me some really great advice on how to do that. And that was probably the most invaluable advice I ever got as a writer. So.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good story, and I'm glad that you're doing what you do. And why don't you talk about some of the influences? I mean, everybody grows up getting inspired by other musicians. Maybe you can talk about.
I grew up listening to and loving probably the rebels of country music, Tanya Tucker, Charlie Daniels, Hank Jr., and Marshall Tucker Band, of course, since they're from my hometown. And so good mix of Southern rock, and then the older I got, the more I started expanding outside of that, and I listened to a little bit of everything. My mom was really big into blues, R&B, so that was definitely an influence. And then I discovered Janis Joplin, and the Judds were also one of my big ones as a young person. And honestly, that's probably where my music's gone the most, is kind of that Southern rock and soul. And it's kind of gone all over the place, but we've landed where we feel is our niche, which is, like I said, Southern rock and soul.
Yeah, like you said, yeah, they are the legends for sure. I mean, especially Tanya Tucker and Marshall Tucker Band. Even the Judds you just mentioned, all great performers. So why don't you tell us about your music and where we can find it? I mean, I know you don't have any physical copies, but if you do, you can let us know that as well.
I do have physical copies, and in fact, I am big. Like I was trying to. My printer's not working. I was trying to print out a picture of the album cover, which you can kind of see, not fully. But I do have physical copies. If anybody wants them, they can go to amandapagecornett.com, which should be right there. So they can send us an email also at angels@amandapagecornett.com. And we do have physical copies. We have t-shirts, we have drink koozies, we have guitar picks, whatnot. And we'd love to get them out there. Every now and then we'll do like a fan of the week kind of thing for people who have decided to buy our music and send us pictures of it. So we'll post them on my social media and such. But you can find my music anywhere: Spotify, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon MP3, anywhere you can listen to music, you should be able to find Amanda Page Cornett. The album is called Front Porch Rebel, and it's out there for everybody to hear.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she would love that if you bought some of her, downloaded her stuff and get, you know, her physical copies and so forth. And so I hope you do that for her. And speaking of music, we got a music video coming up in just a moment called Carolina Coast.
Yeah.
Is there a story behind that song? We would love to hear it.
Well, as I said before, I'm from South Carolina, and my co-writers, Tracy Colling and Kevin Roby, and I were sitting in a room. I think we were actually maybe here in my house, and it was really cold. And all we could think is, I wish I were at the beach in the summer. And Tracy, I mean, that's the truth of it. And I mean, I kind of always wish I were at the beach. That's the one thing about Nashville. We're so far from a beach. But Tracy grew up going to visit family in South Carolina. I grew up in South Carolina. Kevin's first trip was actually playing guitar with me, and we took him over to the band to see some of our friends play the night after our show. And so we just were like, let's write a beach song. Let's write a song about where we wish we were. And we did. And I couldn't be more pleased with how it turned out.
Okay. Well, it is a very good song, obviously, because I watched it not long ago. And I know everybody out there is wanting, I'm sure, ready to listen to it or watch it. But and we'll get to that in a second. But I think that's all the time I really need right now, Amanda. We'd love to have you back sometime if you got anything new to plug for us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. And here it is, Carolina Coast by Amanda Page Cornett. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Breeze blowing through my hair. Oh, won't you sun-kissed glow